Hi there, my name is Rabbi and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share and subscribe and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I want to really be talking about a very, very hot button issue that I think is really at the heart of Doctor Who fandom right now, which is kind of bizarre because it's got nothing to do with Doctor Who whatsoever. At least to my mind, I don't think it really should do. But I think everything kind of seems to be boiling down to this one issue, which is transgenderism. So this is going to be very similar to my review of Stranded that I put out yesterday. And Stranded is really what got me thinking about it. But then I saw on Twitter, and Twitter's a terrible place. I only really interact with Twitter to promote the challenge, to promote the videos that I put out. And there's like a community of people who are on Twitter, but it's a terrible place. So I saw that a friend of mine, Noel, from the TARDIS Zone, got into this real drawn out fight with Benjamin Cook. Somebody I don't know, but somebody's work I just adore. I think he's just a fantastic writer, and I get that he is much younger than me and from a different generation than me, and there are generational differences. There are very clearly generational differences going on. But I just think that there's a lot of issues wrapped up with this, dealing specifically with Doctor Who. That I think we've been dancing around. I think we've been avoiding the issue. Let's have this conversation. So before we get there, though, can I ask you to subscribe to the channel? Now, if I say something that you find just deeply offensive, that's a good reason to subscribe. You're going to want to subscribe because you're going to want to know the terrible things I'm saying and what and when to cancel me, right? That's really important. So you've got to subscribe for that. If you agree with me, hey, I'm just lying to those other people. I just want to get them to subscribe. But I actually do want you to subscribe. So you subscribe. Don't tell them. Nobody tell them what I'm telling you. I think they might have picked up on it, but I think I got away with it. Okay, fine. So subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and like and share. All those things are good. And if you subscribe, you can be entered to win any of my weekly competitions. This week I'm giving it's a bit longer. This was a 9-day competition. I was supposed to do the giveaway on Sunday, but I was too tired. I was too tired when we got there. Judge Dredd, The Complete Crime Files, Volume 5. It's a fantastic book. Has lots of Judge Dredd in it. I like a bit of Judge Dredd. It's got the Apocalypse War in this one, and Death Lives, which is the first appearance of the 4 Dark Judges, with superb art by Brian Bolland. I think Brian Bolland probably at his best. That's right, at the beginning of his career. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag Death Lives. So, this really, I think, started to come forward to me over the last couple of days. I mean, this has always been, I think, quite a central issue. I think since the beginning of the Jodie Whittaker era, it really came to the fore. But I think it was moving in that direction anyway, because I think it's a very big hot button topic within society in general, and we are members of society in general. But the new Big Finish Paul McGann release was it late last week. Finally, I actually got to listen to it quicker than normal. I had to do some artwork for a client, which was great. So I got it. So yeah, that was nice. And the premise is that Paul McGann is trapped without a TARDIS, without a sonic screw, without anything in 2020. Poor bastard. Fate worse than death, isn't it? I mean, it must be January 2020 because nobody's in isolation yet. And so that was the pre-publicity. But the month running up to it, a lot of was surrounding the actress. Now, I'm saying actor. I'm only saying actor, but I'm working really overtime not to offend anyone here. I probably will. If I say actor, it's because I believe all people who act now want to be called actors and they don't like the word actress. I'm not misgendering this person. Rebecca, at least not intentionally. Rebecca Root. Rebecca Root plays Tanya, one of the central characters within the story. She's vital to the story, and her being transgender is a vital plot point. So I have one I think very clever, much cleverer than me, viewer who left a lengthy comment, which I may or may not read out at the end of this video if I remember, because his analysis is always just spot on. He is seething, and this guy is a very reasonable person. Again, I don't know. I interact with him solely through the comments on my videos. He's a very clever, methodical analysis. Analysis is what he does. An analyzer? I don't know. But he doesn't seem to be like a knee-jerk phobic, whoever. So yeah, so but he's very upset because he feels it as a bait and switch. So let's just take a couple of steps back and talk about this in more general terms. As the way I can see it, there are three ways. There are three ways that anybody can think anything is true. You have knowledge, you have belief, and you have faith. Now, knowledge is something that you have like really strong, overwhelming evidence for. You have, you have a hand with four fingers, one thumb. You have five fingers. You have that type of clarity. You get that direct experiential knowledge. The moon being round. These things are things you have direct and indisputable evidence for, which I think a lot of people on the trans side of the debate, just in general, not just talking about transgender, but just in everything, like to frame all their outlook as being knowledge when it's really not, and I think that's really a lot of the time when we get into trouble. So you have knowledge, you have belief. Belief is something that you have strong circumstantial evidence for. The Middle Ages, they thought the sun and the earth rotate, the sun and the moon rotated the earth because that's how it appeared. People would say, now that's belief. Belief could be true, belief could be not true. It depends, but belief has strong circumstantial evidence. I believe the current era of Doctor Who, the Jodie Whittaker era of Doctor Who, is a failure. I believe it's a failure for there are many metrics that make me feel that it's a failure. And then you have faith. Faith is something you think is true, regardless of the evidence. Regardless of the evidence against you, you believe it. So you have faith, you have knowledge, and you have belief. So if you are somebody who thinks that gender is universally mutable, gender is fluid. If you're somebody who thinks that, and gender indeed is a social construct, it's just gender only exists because we in society have said there must be this or that, these two options and nothing else. If you believe that, if that's what you think, that's fine. That's fine. I think that's your faith. Okay, that's your and God bless you. You're welcome to your faith. I'm not going to rain on your faith, and I believe there is some evidence to support that worldview. There's a lot of evidence to not support it either. So it's again, it's mostly a faith because I think the science is still far from settled that gender is a social construct. I think all the data indicates that really no, it's not at all. Again, as far as I know, if you have actual data to cite, please put it in comment. But I look at the entirety of the history of humanity, and it seemed to be regardless of independent growth, independent development, across the globe, that we have essentially two genders that apply for the vast majority of people, and those genders and sexual orientation either is not mutable, not fluid. It seems to be for the entirety of human history in all the different human cultures. There's always been transgenderism. It's always been a part of humanity. I don't think it's been a part of normative humanity. Now, by normative, I don't. It's not pejorative. I'm not attacking anybody for being abnormal. In fact, being Doctor Who fans, I think all of us became Doctor Who fans because we have an affiliation for the abnormal. I think most Doctor Who fans became Doctor Who fans because in some way or another we felt like an outsider. And we see this wonderful hero, the Doctor, who is so gloriously outsider and so happy to be an outsider. And so I think that's probably why a lot of us have that love for him. I think that's why there's so much LGBT representation within Doctor Who fandom. I think the whole thing is very very closely wrapped up. So a major plot point in Stranded is Livchenko, the ex-Doctor companion who comes from Caldor City in the far future. She ends up in a relationship with Tanya, with Rebecca. So look, okay, the first thing is that Rebecca Root. I couldn't tell the character was supposed to be female. Now, and when I see her, she looks female-ish. Okay, that's another problem we have with transgenderism. The enforced ignoring of absurdity. Now, the example I gave yesterday was, imagine there's a group of people who wore massive dildos on it. So I don't have a massive dildo, head-mounted dildo. I have my Christmas hat, so I'll put that on as as some kind of like representation, right? So imagine this isn't a bauble, but this is a giant penis bouncing around, right? Okay, and the group of people, and that this is their identity to do so, right? But it looks a little bit sick. It looks a little bit, whoa, well, that's a bit funny. It looks like you want to giggle. If this was a giant dildo, I would want to giggle. I just would. I'm sorry about that, but I would, and I don't think that would drive the dildo hat wearers to suicide en masse. I think the dildo hat wearers should really be able to cope with people like giggling at the absurd. But with transgenderism, so often you're presented with a comically absurd image of a big burly man wearing a dress. And it is a comically absurd image if we just look at our cultural comedy. And I know people who will say, "Oh, that's just a racism. Oh, that's a side of you've got to." No. I think again, gender and sexual orientation is something that's really important to everybody's identification of self, and it's hardwired in and not mutable. I think that is the norm. I think for some people that their gender is mutable, and they feel they can't live life without, which is fine. Again, nothing against. So we got two things. We got the how we're verboten to just acknowledge that it's a little bit absurd, a little bit weird. And again, that's not to say anybody should be prohibited from dressing however they want. I'm happy to gender anybody however they want, but I think it's a bit silly. Bottom line, I think it's a bit silly. I think that Rebecca Root looks like a bloke in a dress, and I think she sounds like a bloke. And it's just, I'm sorry that what I'm seeing and hearing seems like that, and I'm really happy for her that she's transitioned and she's living a life that she. I was thinking about this video in bed last night. I was thinking, how would I react if one of my kids was trans? I had 4 kids. How would I react to one? And I'm like very religious. I'm like I'm a rabbi, so I try to filter that out, which is very hard. But again, I think I would be very, very. I would try to. I love my kids. I would try to accept them no matter what. But I would be very. I would be very upset. 100%. I would be very upset. Because I think they're fundamentally damaging themselves in taking on something that's a deep falsehood. This deep falsehood that I think is the narrative that's running through the media that gender is mutable. I think it's a really desperately destructive idea that's running through society. Really, definitely. But again, that's just my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. I don't think that opinion makes me hateful, makes me bigoted. If anything, I just think I just think this whole approach the Western world has decided to take on transgenderism is going to be ultimately far worse. It's going to make life far worse than better. And look, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. That's my opinion, and that opinion doesn't make me a bigot. In my mind, it doesn't make me hateful. I'm happy to gender somebody however they want. I don't think sex is mutable, right? I just don't. I don't think the science says it's mutable. I think the science that says that gender is mutable is akin to the science that the Earth is flat. It's just, as far again from as trying to be as dispassionate, objective observer as is possible for anybody. That's just what it seems to me. And whenever I'm presented with scientific arguments for and I look into them, they're disingenuous trash. I mean, they're disingenuous trash. Now, this isn't denying anybody's existence either. I'm not saying, you can't exist. In the same way, I'm Jewish, right? I'm Jewish. I don't believe in the divinity of Jesus Christ, right? I don't believe in the divinity of Jesus Christ. But I would be aghast if somebody was to have that belief prohibited and told that belief made them evil, which is what's happening within society right now. Which is what I think what really pushed me over there was seeing the spat between Benjamin Cook and the thing is, I think when you really drill down to it, most people will be pretty much okay with my point of view. If not, I would like to know why not. I want to know. Okay, I'm asking you as a boomer, as somebody who doesn't understand, as somebody who's being. I am being genuine here. Like, I need you to come and explain to me what's wrong with the way I look at things. I need something to explain because I don't think there is anything wrong. I'm a very live and let live kind of person. So so the problem I had with Stranded, and I recommend, if you haven't heard it, I recommend you go and buy it for yourself and make up your own mind. I really did, if that's a possibility for you, that's what I think you should do. But more than anything else, I really like Big Finish. Now, the problem I have with Stranded is this romance between Liv and with Tanya, Rebecca Root's character. It just left me with so many questions that I didn't understand. So she was saying that Livchenko in the future, that gender has been proven to be a social construct and is now completely mutable. Well, that's your faith. You understand? That is your faith position, that gender is mutable, and you're using the story to present your faith as if it's a fact, as if it's something that we agree on. So so you can understand this better. Imagine if there's a story that hinged upon the Doctor traveling back and witnessing the resurrection of Christ, right? Like, what happened? How would you feel if Doctor Who as a story was used as a platform to present somebody else's faith as if it was fact to you? I think you would find it a little bit obnoxious, right? And now you're telling me that Livchenko, was she established as being a lesbian or being straight or being bi? I don't know, but they have sex in it. Okay, they highly, they don't hear it, but they highly intimate. They have intimate relations. And is she trans with a penis or trans without a penis? See, for me, that makes a big difference. That makes a big difference, and I know I'm not allowed to say that. But to me, I think that makes the physical reality of having a penis or a vagina, even if it's after sex reassignment surgery, I think makes a really big difference. So if she's trans and has a penis, and they had sex, is Liv gay, bi, straight? I don't understand. I need somebody to explain to me. And the reason I don't think this is easily explainable, because I think it's nonsense. I think it's nonsense. I don't think that sexual orientation is fluid. I don't think that gender is fluid. I don't, and I'm happy for anybody to. I'm happy to be wrong about that. I'm okay to be wrong, and I'm okay to live and let live and coexist with people who don't share that outlook to me. I don't feel the other side, the fence, is at all willing to live and let live. I think they want to stamp out any idea, any intimation that transgenderism is anything other than completely normal, and saying that it's like there's no difference between a transgender person and seeing somebody with red hair. No, there is. I'm sorry, one is much more common than the other, and that's the definition of normal. Again, nobody should be prohibited from being trans. I'm fine with it, no problem with it. That's what you want. It's how you want to live your life. That's fine. I will be sad for my children because I love my children. I think that they're fundamentally hurting themselves, and I think most people on the trans side are, but it's not my business. It's not my place to imprint upon them my worldview. Again, I could be wrong, but in the same breath, I wish the other side of the aisle, I wish the other side of the argument would have that same sensitivity. And say, maybe this isn't something that's a settled science, and saying that we shouldn't be screaming it. And I want to go one step further. Jodie Whittaker was on James Corden's show recently, and she was talking about how great it was for girls to be able to see herself in the Doctor. I'm sorry, darling, you pay yourself, and that Doctor is a trans Doctor. There's nothing feminine about her whatsoever, and that's what the rainbow's about. It's not for show support for the LG or B people, because they've been told there's no problem for them in society for like the last 30 years. I remember when there was, but there isn't any problem now at all. So I think it's really to show support for the T's, and that's just one of the reasons I find the current era so obnoxious. So again, at least with Big Finish, you actually get very, very good writing, sensitive writing, and the writing I don't find obnoxious. I don't think, in my opinion, I haven't seen that in the Jodie Whittaker era. That's my opinion statement, which you got to say these things out. Crazy people will say, you're saying that, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so that's really, I think that's a discussion we have to have right now. Transgenderism and fandom. Can we learn to live and let live or not? That's really the question. I think my side of the aisle can. I don't think the other side of the aisle can at all, and I think that's because deep down they know they're talking crap, really, and that's me again, opinion statement. But I think deep down, if you didn't think you were talking crap, you wouldn't have any problem contradicting you. You wouldn't have any problem having somebody with an opposing statement. People only have a problem with somebody having an opposing outlook when they know their outlook's full of crap. Really, that's really the only problem. And again, it proves me wrong. Why can't we all learn to live and let live? My name is Philip Becken, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.